Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your betting game by hitting that subscribe button and ensure you never miss out on our daily content. Want exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join our Patreon. Links are waiting for you in the comment section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. New England Patriots versus Tennessee Titans. For this game, I am going to give you fast team and total picks without doing too much talking. My team pick is Tennessee to win, and my total pick is under 38 points. Los Angeles Chargers versus Cleveland Browns. Game preview and betting insights. The Los Angeles Chargers hold solid edge against the Cleveland Browns in recent history, boasting an 8-2 record in their last 10 meetings, dating back to 2004. As these teams face off again, there's plenty to consider when evaluating their chances this season. Despite a promising outing last week, Cleveland's offensive performance seems more a byproduct of Baltimore's weak pass defense than a true breakout. The Browns had multiple chances for big plays, including 3 dropped interceptions, capitalizing on risky throws into coverage. But with the Chargers' robust defense, one of the league's best this year, it's unlikely Cleveland will replicate those numbers. The Chargers have excelled at shutting down their opponents, and they're set to challenge the Browns at every turn. On the money line, I'm backing the Chargers. Both teams have trended toward lower scoring games, with the Browns posting an over/under record of 3-5 and the Chargers at just 1-6. Cleveland has struggled to find the end zone all season, now up against a Chargers defense that leads the league in points allowed. The Chargers offense has also been lukewarm, ranking 24th in points per game, suggesting that this will be a defensive showdown. Given both teams' limitations in scoring, I'm leaning toward the under at 42.5 points. Expect a low-scoring battle with defenses taking center stage as the Chargers look to continue their dominant run over the Browns. New Orleans Saints versus Carolina Panthers. Preview and betting predictions. The New Orleans Saints kicked off the season with 2 dominant wins, but it's been a rocky road since. After dropping 6 consecutive games, their 2-6 record has the season teetering on the edge. Quarterback Derek Carr, who has been in and out of the lineup, returns for a critical road matchup, looking to steer the Saints back on course against the NFC's bottom dweller, the Carolina Panthers. Carolina's injury woes are mounting, and veteran quarterback Andy Dalton is likely sidelined with a thumb injury, leaving their already struggling offense further weakened. On top of that, Carolina ranks 25th in pass defense and has lost 7 of their last 8 games at home. With Carr back, New Orleans has a favorable opportunity to reignite their offense. Given Carolina's defensive struggles, the Saints' passing attack should find openings, especially with wide receiver Chris Olave, now fully recovered from his recent concussion. Prediction: Saints minus 7.5 points. With Carr under center and Olave in the lineup, the Saints should deliver a more cohesive offensive performance. In their Week 1 meeting, New Orleans exploded for 48 points, exposing Carolina's defense. While a repeat blowout may not be in the cards, the Saints are poised to hit 30 points against a Panthers squad fielding a depleted defense. Even though New Orleans has had its own defensive lapses, ranking near the bottom in yards allowed, Carolina's patchwork offense might struggle to fully capitalize, likely scoring in the low teens. Prediction: over 43 points. Both teams' defensive issues suggest a higher scoring game. Look for New Orleans to do the heavy lifting, but Carolina should manage enough points to push the total past 43, with the Saints covering the spread. Miami Dolphins versus Buffalo Bills. Game preview and betting analysis. The Miami Dolphins are back on track with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's return from a concussion that briefly derailed their season. Last week, Tua led Miami's offense to a solid 27-point performance, though they fell short in a tough game against the Cardinals. Wide receiver Tyreek Hill, who hauled in 6 catches for 72 yards, seems poised for another standout performance. In their earlier season matchup, the Dolphins lost 31-10 after Tua left the game due to injury. This rematch promises to be much closer, with a healthier Miami roster and a defense that's quietly effective. Miami's defense has impressed, ranking 6th in total yards allowed and 2nd in third down conversion percentage. They'll need every bit of that defensive prowess to contain Buffalo, who's been giving up over 215 passing yards per game. With Tua at the helm, the Dolphins' offense should find opportunities, especially with Buffalo's vulnerabilities against the pass. Expect the Dolphins to beat the spread as they look to stay competitive throughout the game. Prediction: Miami Dolphins plus 6 points. This time around, Miami is healthier and more prepared, and while Buffalo took the win in the first contest, which totaled 41 points, this game projects to be more evenly matched. Tua's presence should keep the Dolphins' offense humming, but both defenses are playing at a high level, which should keep the total score in check. Miami's pass defense ranks 5th, giving up only 176 yards per game, and they've allowed the 4th fewest receiving yards to wide receivers at just 121 per game. Both teams are likely to emphasize the run game, focusing on long, methodical drives that limit big, explosive plays. With both defenses performing well, expect a more controlled pace and a final score in the 24-20 range, with Miami keeping it close until the end. Prediction: under 48.5 points. This matchup looks primed for a lower-scoring affair, as both teams work to grind down the clock and rely on strong defensive showings. Dallas Cowboys versus Atlanta Falcons. Game preview and betting insights. Historically, the Dallas Cowboys have dominated this matchup, but this season's struggles on offense and injuries on defense could tip the scales in Atlanta's favor. Dallas has become a bit one-dimensional, relying heavily on their passing game due to an underperforming run attack. This lack of balance, combined with their issues on defense, especially in secondary, could open the door for Atlanta. The Falcons' defense is more formidable than appears on paper, ranking in the top 10 for average completion depth and boasting a ball-hawking secondary. Offensively, Atlanta has proven they can move the ball effectively against various defenses, and Dallas's porous secondary is likely to give quarterback Kirk Cousins room to make plays through the air. Prediction: Falcons minus 3.5 points. Atlanta's well-rounded offense and opportunistic secondary give them an edge in what could be a challenging game for the Cowboys. While both teams have struggled defensively, especially in the red zone, Dallas ranks last in red zone offense, while Atlanta sits in the bottom 10. It's unlikely either team will consistently convert drives into touchdowns. We can expect a lot of movement up and down the field, but finishing those drives may be another story. Prediction: under 51.5 points. Despite the potential for offensive action, both teams' red zone inefficiencies should keep the final score under the high total. Look for a hard-fought game with moderate scoring as drives stall near the end zone.